Welcome here to this week's episode of the, I don't know what we're calling this yet, but it's this week's episode of the Sports Report here. And again, we'd like to thank you for joining us. Again, it's provided by Security Bank of Pulaski County. Since 1936, your local bank, still locally owned, supports the schools, supports this whole area here. I do want to thank them for that. And we're going to take a moment here. We'll be back after this as we're going to go into our first segment here, and we'll see you back on the other side of that. Security Bank is a proud supporter of Allen Hilliard Sports, and they are the main supporter this year and sponsor of all broadcasts with Allen Hilliard Sports. They've been around since World War II through the thick and the thin, supporting the Waynesville-St. Robert community through all these years of growth, and continue to support the Waynesville-St. Robert community through 2 locations in Waynesville and St. Robert, one in downtown by the courthouse, the other location in St. Robert. Be sure to check out Security Bank of Pulaski County for all your banking needs. They are member FDIC, whether it be car loan, house loan, they can make it happen. Again, thank you Security Bank for all your support. And Security Bank wishes the best for all the Tigers and Lady Tigers this season in all their competitions, whether it be arts or athletics. Again, Security Bank of Pulaski County, 2 convenient locations. Welcome here to the COC post-game show from this last weekend here. It was a very good weekend here. Some good games. First off, we'll start in alphabetical order here. From the East anyway. The Glendale Falcons picked up a victory over Willard, 44-12 in a very high-scoring contest. Glendale this year, 86 points so far in the season. So the Falcons doing a great job. Next up on the list, the Kickapoo Chiefs dropped a 20-point loss to Neosho. Lebanon Yellow Jackets picked up a victory at home over Joplin. That was a 38-33 victory. Very good game there. And then one of our games of the week last week, the Nixa Eagles hosting Webb City. I believe they were hosting Webb City. But Nixa picking up a 28-20 victory. The 2 of the top teams coming in the COC, and Nixa very well on their way to pick up a COC victory once again here. But they're not the only tough team. That was a 28-20 victory again. Then the Ozark Tigers hosting the Carthage Tigers. They did lose that game. So Ozark 1-1. Carthage picking up the 49-21 victory in that game. So Carthage moving to 2-0 on the season, after the victory over the Waynesville Tigers the week before. And finally, the Waynesville Tigers dropping a 0-56 ball game to Republic. Republic advancing to 1-1 on the season. And then looking at the West standings, Carthage is sitting at 2-0, Joplin 1-1, Neosho 2-0, a very strong team. And then Republic and Webb City both tied at 1-1. And Willard 0-2. They will face the 0-2 Waynesville Tigers, one of only 3 teams in the COC to win a game, so we'll be down to 2 this weekend. That is our wrap-up here for the post-game show, and before we go, we're going to send you to the Republic coach, courtesy of the Missouri Sports Network. Here's what he said about the Waynesville victory. Allen Hilliard Sports would like to thank the Iowa Woo this year for allowing me to be their provider of live broadcasting services during their games up in Waterloo, Iowa. Be sure to check them out next season on the Arena League, the Iowa Woo.
1 in 10 kids vape. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes.
The Health Class Film Guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Talk to your child about vaping today.
The Dixon Athletic Booster Club is a proud supporter of Allen Hilliard Sports and the Dixon community, as well as the Dixon athletic programs. Be sure to join the Booster Club. All the money goes to help support the Dixon athletes in the community, whether it be high school, middle school, baseball, basketball, whatever it is. Check out the Dixon Booster Club on Facebook to become a member. $200 to be a corporate sponsor on the video board in the gym.
And welcome to the show now, Republic Tigers head coach Ryan Cornelson. Coach, hey, thanks for joining us.
Yeah, appreciate you having me.
Coach, big win tonight at Waynesville. Tell us a little bit about the game.
Yeah, well, most of the game, and so it was a little bit sloppy, but I felt like we came out, did a pretty good job getting a couple stops there and finding the end zone, and went into half. I believe it was 42 to nothing, and then it's always exciting as a coach for that second half. You're able to get most of your players that don't always get in got in the second half, and were able to finish the game.
You come out. I know it's anytime you get the field in that kind of situation, a lot of times you maybe pull a muscle or something like that. Are you guys pretty healthy coming out of this?
Yeah, I think so. Well, you never know till tomorrow when we get everybody in there that needs to be looked at and see where they're at. But I feel like for the most part we came out healthy. I just you never really know till you get through the weekend a little bit and find out what guys got.
Coach, tell us a little bit about you had a little bit of turnover on your team this year. Tell us about some of the guys who are kind of stepping up and stepping into some roles that were filled a year ago by maybe some seniors that graduated.
Yeah, offensively we returned quite a few guys. In our offensive line was where we had had a turnover there. We've got Landon Harper and Chance Gimlin, our two offensive linemen that have been good players for us now for a couple of years, and they were back. Our quarterback Preston is back, and our fullback Isaiah and Owen. So we had a good nucleus guys returning offensively. We've got some new faces in there that struggled week one. That was a tall task. Week one to go against those guys, and so hopefully tonight when we turn on the film, that group got better. And then defensively, we got Caleb Norman's been our Mike linebacker for 2 years now, going on his third year, and KG and Gavin in the secondary, and Harton on the defensive line. Ethan Montiel's played, so we've got a good nucleus of guys coming back. We just didn't play very well game one in spots, and then hopefully when we get the film that we do a little better tonight.
Well, and this conference is such a juggernaut, and then you've got to open up with the number one team in the state and a class above you. What do you have next week, or who do you have, I guess, and what challenges lay in front of you for next week?
Yeah, the first part of our schedule is the east side. So we got Ozark next week, and then Kickapoo after that before we actually start, our side of the conference. Where we go to the schools in Webb and Joplin and Carlton side of it, and obviously both sides are tough. So we got Ozark next week. That's being close and being another large school. That's always a big game for the area for us, and then Kickapoo another school that those games are always big games, and so we got a tough task, and then leading into our conference play where obviously we got really good side of or really good football on our side of the conference. So a tough schedule. We just got to keep getting better and try to be ready.
Well, you may have maybe three of the top 5 Class 5 teams in the state on your side of the conference there, and that's if nothing else, whoever comes out of that's got a great shot.
Yeah. The worst thing is you got them in conference and then turn around, we're all in the same district, so it's like you're playing, the schedule twice, and it's obviously tough as it is. But then, you got to, flip the switch, do it again in district. So, you got to we'll be battle tested. Whoever comes out of our district is going to, have played a lot of tough teams. So, that we'll be ready, excited for that when that opportunity or when districts start.
Very good. Well, Coach, how far are you from home, Coach?
We haven't left yet.
Oh, so, good heavens! I'm sorry.
Pizza Hut kind of slows down a little bit, so we're trying to get the boys fed, and we'll load up and take off.
All right. Well, Coach, as always, I greatly appreciate you being generous. Congratulations on the win, and we look forward to visiting the remainder of the year.
Hey, I appreciate it.
Thanks, Coach.
All right, man. We'll see you.
Bye-bye. Coach Ryan Cornelson there is kind enough to join us, and I didn't realize he hadn't left Waynesville yet. I thought it was awful quiet bus ride.
Brian Borum of Cross Creek Realty is a proud supporter of Allen Hilliard Sports and the Crocker Lions, as well as all the other area Frisco League teams in this part of Missouri. Be sure to check him out at Cross Creek Realty for all your home needs, whether it be selling a house or looking for a house. They have homes to sell and homes to buy. Rennie Tire Pro is your local tire shop in the Licking area. Be sure to check them out for whether it be just changing a tire, buying a set of new tires, small auto repair. Check out Rennie Tire in Licking, Missouri. ZCM Timber Harvesting is your local timber harvesting service in this part of Missouri. Give Sarah Martin and the team a call. The Bank of Iberia is a proud supporter of Allen Hilliard Sports and the Waynesville and Iberia communities, along with all the other Frisco League teams in the area. Be sure to give them a call. They are member FDIC, equal home housing lender, 2 locations, Waynesville and Iberia. And first up on the softball field, we'll have a exclusive coverage here brought to you by Allen Hilliard Sports. Waynesville Tigers came out early, had a early 6-0 lead against Republic. This game was in Waynesville. It was an orange and black battle. As you can see, the
throw to first.
Tigers scoring early there.
Out, the runner is.
Republic would later come back in this ball game eventually and tie this up in the third.
That's an error on the shortstop.
And then also, Republic later in the fourth
we would have still had the same count.
would come close, however, leave a couple runners stranded. That sets up a Waynesville Lady Tiger bunt to win the game, basically.
That's a triple.
And we have an interview coming up right after these highlights here with Coach Maubach and Cobb, the Lady Tiger that hit the winning run in.
Here,
so we'll be back with that after these highlights.
Puddin' pile. Apologize on that. And the hit out at third. Runner, he will tell you in the 1962 World Series what the winning pitcher's batting average was, but either way, that's This is hit out to the outfielder over the head. Runners will score. They'll bring in at least 1, bring in 2. And that is a softball, but still in the football mode here. That is deep. That might be over the fence. That is off the fence. Hits the top. And this is going to drop again. That's going to find a hole. That'll tie this game up at 6 apiece. And the bunt advances the runner. She is safe. And that is it. The Tigers win the game. That is the ball game. Waynesville Tigers with the victory on this, coming out. Walk off.
Dad, can I push 7?
Have a good night. It has been a pleasure. Thank you for joining us. We will see you Thursday for Tiger football.
And we are here with Coach Maubach and Kendall Cobb. Always got to know the players, remember that? All right, but first, Coach Maubach here. Good victory on that against a very tough, Tigers team. Almost really, if you didn't know the difference, you couldn't tell the difference in the two teams. But the Orange Tigers came out ahead, which was the right Tigers this time, and it was a battle there. Early scoring. Republic came out, tied the game, but then it took another 6 innings before the last run came in. Can you kind of talk about the second half of that, the defensive part? Because it was more of a pitcher's game for most of it than it was a hitter's game.
It was definitely a pitcher's game. And Republic, I mean, give them credit. They've got strong, solid hitters. They had some big hits, and we had better plays in the outfield by my center fielder, Alexis Nenadich, and left fielder, Ruby Hisatake. They were both solid in the outfield, and our pitcher, Abby Nicole, came in and executed and did her job the way she was supposed to.
All right, and then good hitting all around. I mean, seems like the whole team contributed at some point during that game.
They absolutely did. We needed to string some hits. We needed to get runners on base, string the hits, and execute. And I think at the end of the game, 9th inning, we did just that.
All right, and then coming in towards the end of the game, a couple times you had a chance with runners on in the 7th and the 8th. But then the 9th inning there, was that kind of the plan to get the runner on? And because it looked like the plan was to bunt the runner and get that extra base, but it happened to turn out where the ball got away a little bit.
Absolutely. And I mean, original plan is when you've got speed with Ruby and Alexis coming up in the hole, and you've got Kendall batting in the 2 spot, she'll hit the ball, she'll bunt the ball. Getting one of those 2 runners on base, we can move 1 base at a time, and we're set in scoring position for Riley or Reagan when they get up to bat. The original plan was to get Ruby on, get Alexis on, Kendall bunt them around, and have Riley come in and get a solid contact hit. Cards weren't in our favor on that play. Ruby made the first out of the inning. Alexis got on base, and Kendall was told to bunt the ball. She executed it, and we took advantage of an error that they made.
All right, and Kendall, was that were you on the same plan as they were there at the end when, a couple outs basically, and really the bunt would have made the difference? Because essentially you would have had 1 out to play with if it would have worked to plan, where it would have been a tag out on the bunt. But so how was your feelings going through at the end of that when you bunted it and things worked out the way they did?
Well, going into it, I was very anxious, knowing the fact that we never beat Republic. It was a tight game. We fought really hard. We wanted that win more than anything. And my at-bat before, I had struck out with 2 outs, and I wasn't happy, but I knew that at the end I wanted that win for my team more than anything. And I don't like when Coach makes me bunt, because I always tell her I want to get a hit, but I obviously had to do what she told me to, and it worked out just like she wanted it to. So in the end, I was really happy with it, and I could not be more excited that we beat Republic the way we did, and we came out with that good of a win.
Okay. All right, Coach, congratulations and good luck. You'll be on the road against another Tigers team. So,
Yep, Willard
all right,
on Thursday.
good luck at Willard.
Thank you.
Yep. Gann Johnson Insurance is your local personal insurance provider in Dixon, Missouri. Has an office right there in downtown Dixon. Been there for many years. She will personally come out, talk to you about your insurance needs. Check her out in Dixon. Pulaski Talks is your local, non-biased news source for Pulaski County, whether it be local headlines all the way to the state level. Check them out on YouTube at Pulaski Talks. Tri-Town Sports is your newest youth sports facilitator, having volleyball, basketball, among other sports this year, including flag football. Check them out on Facebook, Tri-Town Sports, Waynesville, St. Robert, Fort Leonard Wood. The Licking Athletic Booster Club would like to wish good luck to the Licking Wildcats and Lady Wildcats this year as they compete in their fall sports and they get ready for the basketball season, again, as they start the year off in the Frisco League Tournament. Good luck, Wildcats, from the Licking Booster Club. Now the Waynesville Freshman Tigers hosted Republic. Republic scored early in this ball game. Republic Tigers coming in off the varsity victory over Waynesville on Friday night, 56-0. Freshman Tigers early in the game feared they would have the same result. However, Waynesville came out late in the first half, able to pick up a touchdown of their own. And Republic would go on to carry that 22-6 lead into the second half. However, the Waynesville Tigers would score, allowing a Republic score. So the final after the 2-point conversion from Waynesville is 22-14. So freshman Tigers fall to 1-1 on the season. They will be back next week as they'll travel to Willard, and the JV will host the Willard Tigers here at Waynesville. And youth football season starting up here. Our first game of youth football season was the Tigers and Fieldhawks. And it was nothing but Fieldhawks here in the yellow as they ran for this first touchdown and would never look back. They would pick up a victory in this ball game to go 1-0 on the season. Fieldhawks will play the Cowboys next week in a battle of the undefeated teams.
Quarterback's going to keep it to the left. Get it towards the sideline, turns the corner. He's at the 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Fieldhawks.
The second game was a nail-biter on the defensive side, but the Wolverines in overtime, final play that they had, 4th down, able to pick up the victory. Otherwise, it would have been a tie, but Wolverines with a 6-0 victory in the first week. Third game was another one, the Outlaws and Ravens. This time the 3rd and 4th age group there. Outlaws off for the touchdown, and Outlaws again would also not look back. They'd pick up a 13-0 victory to start their season here. They'll be back in action this next week, as you can check all the action out on WYF on Facebook. And all the games will be live on Allen Hilliard Sports.
They're going for it on 4th down. Breaks free from a couple of tackles. Still going. 30, 25, 20, 15, 10, 5. Touchdown, Outlaws. Two. Outlaws will go for it. Quarterback's rolling out, looking to throw. It's hot. Makes a couple defenders miss. Has some open field. 20, 15, still on his feet. 10, 5. Touchdown, Outlaws.
Security Bank of Pulaski County, with 2 convenient locations in Waynesville and St. Robert, Missouri, is a proud supporter of the Waynesville Tigers and the Lady Tigers athletics, including all their sports and activities. Security Bank is a member FDIC equal housing home lender. They can provide home loans, auto loans, whatever type of loan you need, and whatever support you need, give Security Bank a call or visit them in Waynesville, St. Robert, Missouri. Now, game 4 of Saturday was the Wolverines against the Broncos, and scoring first the Wolverines. Broncos would come back to answer and then take a 21-14 lead in the game, and that would set up a final play with 11 seconds to go, as the Wolverines would pick up the touchdown and also pick up the extra point, and they win 22-21. They'll be back in action also next week.
Hand off to the left, turning the corner, cuts it upfield inside the 5, and diving for the end zone. Touchdown, Broncos! Quarterback fakes the toss, he's going to keep it. Rosenstein throws a stiff arm.
And next game of the night, game number 5. It was a long day that day, but the competition did not show any faltering there. Black Knights coming in, a very good team from last year, many of the same players, and a touchdown there by the Black Knights. I believe that was the quarterback out of a boot there. But Black Knights would go up 13-0. They'd give up a touchdown to the Vipers. Vipers would run out of time, and the Black Knights would pick up a 13-7 victory.
Run out to the right, into the end zone, touchdown, Vipers!
What are they doing? Why are they running? Why are they doing it again, though? The clock's running out.
Black Knights will kneel it one final time, and that will close out the ball game. Final score, Black Knights 13, Vipers 7.
And our final game of the night on Saturday, sorry about that, was a little fumble-rooski right there. Cowboys came away with it, picked it up, and I don't think that was a design play, but the Cowboys, on a 70-plus yard touchdown run, they would defeat the Longhorns in the final game of the night in the kindergarten through second grade category. And then the Longhorns will face the Tigers. Cowboys will be facing the other K2 team, which is the Fieldhawks. That will be the Fieldhawks game, I believe, will be last. In the first game, Tigers will be first. Either way, Osage Electric is a proud supporter of the Dixon Bulldogs and all the schools in their district in Pulaski County, Missouri, along with Marys County and other locations throughout Missouri. Good luck to the Bulldogs and Lady Bulldogs this season from Osage Electric. G-Tech Fiber is built to last. Your local area internet run on Osage Electric power poles. Reach out to Osage Electric for all your G-Tech Fiber internet needs. Whether you live rural or in the city, they can provide internet. Chris Pills Basketball is a proud supporter of Allen Hilliard Sports, Pocahontas Redskins, and the area schools. Allen Hilliard Sports will once again be providing the coverage of the Waynesville youth football for grades kindergarten all the way to 6th grade this year, from week 1 all the way to the championship in November. Games will start first week of September. Be sure to reach out WIF Football if you'd like to play. Post Pawn Shop is a proud supporter of Allen Hilliard Sports and all the area schools, including the Frisco League basketball tournament. Be sure to visit them down by the front gate of Fort Leonard Wood. The Bank of Crocker, since 1911, has been in Pulaski County and the surrounding area for many years. They have home loans, auto loans, whatever loans you need. Give them a call. They are member FDIC and the Equal Housing Home Lender.
There's just one place where students are students first, and athletics are played with purpose and perspective. That place is your local high school. High school sports offer more than the joy of competition. Studies show that student athletes are also likely to enjoy greater levels of achievement in other areas of their lives, including academics. High school sports, a winning part of a complete education.
We are here at Allen Hilliard here talking with St. Robert PD. We do have, first of all, would you like to introduce yourself?
Sure. Lieutenant Russell, St. Robert Police Department. I am the traffic guy for the city of St. Robert. You know, I do a lot of stuff as far as traffic safety and traffic grants that we do here, organize and everything. And today I want to talk about specifically two new laws. Well, one is a brand new one that just came into effect on August 28th. And the other one, it's been in effect for a couple years now, but they just started enforcing it this year, yes. January is when it started being enforced, and that's the hands-free law. You know.
So, for example, the cell phone deal and all that.
Yep, cell phones, electronic communication devices, really. So what you're doing now
Yep.
You can't do that while you're driving.
No.
Absolutely not.
Not the smartest thing in the
No.
world to do.
No, of course not. And there's a whole lot of things like that the law covers that people, because you're like, well, I had to pull up my GPS or whatever. Well, if you are manually entering the letters and numbers onto that thing, then you're violating the law. Some people don't think of it
So
like
what
that.
if you're, say, traveling somewhere downtown in a city you've never been to, and you just have it in your hand and you're looking at where to turn? How is that different than
So
manually entering it, that you're holding it, or is that
It has to
a
be
gray
hands-free.
area? Okay.
Yeah, hands-free. So,
Okay.
put it in the little phone holder or in the cup holder, wherever it's at, and then just use your voice. Do the
Okay.
voice. All the phones have voice
Yep.
communication So, hey Siri, where is the Domino's at? Whatever it is.
Now, is that something that is being enforced now? Because I know some areas you go to bigger cities and they probably don't care that much about that. They're not watching for that. They got different issues, but is that something that you guys are
Here in the city of St.
enforcing?
Robert, absolutely, yes. We are definitely enforcing that, and that's, if you get caught speeding and it's because you were playing on your phone and not paying attention, you're gonna get a ticket for it, absolutely. And another one that people don't think about is like recording video while you're driving. The kids think, I'm gonna do a TikTok while I'm cruising. Can't do that. That's illegal as well.
Well, that just kind of seems like a bad idea to begin with, but
Absolutely. So yeah, that's those are the big ones. Like, it's very dangerous, and it kills people, and it's against the law. And like I said, the state has this huge long list of telling you everything that you can't do. All right, like, as long as you are doing it solely through a voice operated or hands-free feature, you're good.
Okay.
But if not,
so you could have it mounted either in your console, mounted somewhere,
yeah, on
something
the
like
dash,
that.
on the window.
As long as you're not physically holding it,
Correct.
looking out the driving at one hand type thing.
Right, that's it exactly. It's got to be hands-free, and can't be pushing things in, and you can't be watching videos. You can't be watching YouTube while you're cruising, which again sounds like a terrible idea in the first place, but they did lay it out very specific. No videos, no movies.
So it's modeled fairly well after like what the CDL laws have been for years, where essentially hands-free everything on a cell phone.
Absolutely, yeah. So it's, don't touch it while you're driving. If you have a passenger, cool. That's what you need a good co-pilot for that. But if you're on your own, hands-free, don't touch it, don't pick it up, don't physically hold or support it at all. That's it right there. So, and that's a big important one. It's really, so many crashes and deaths have been caused by cell phones. And another one is careless and imprudent driving, right? And we've always had careless and imprudent driving on the books. But now we have stunt driving, which, stunt driving, think the Fast and the Furious, right? If you imagine the Fast and the Furious, everything on that is stunt driving. So instead of having officers try to articulate what is a burnout or what is a donut, the state's actually put it all together on a new law that just came out on the 28th of August.
So it's more specific now of if you're doing a donut, you're drifting around a corner.
Right, yeah. So they put very specific, definitions. So a burnout's a maneuver performed while operating a vehicle while the wheels of the vehicle are spun, resulting in friction, causing the motor's tires to heat up and emit smoke. Right? So it's actually, they laid out the full definition and put it all into a state statute so we can easily articulate stunt driving. And on top of that, they have made it like other laws. It's a 3 strikes rule kind of thing. So first time in the offense, okay, it's a Class B misdemeanor, not a big deal, right? Don't do it again, slap on the wrist, here's your $20 fine, have a nice day. 2, it's a Class A misdemeanor, little higher, right? It could be up to 1 year in jail for a Class A misdemeanor, right? So it gets a little more serious. And then after that, it automatically becomes a felony. So if you get caught doing 3 burnouts at the red light, you're looking at a felony.
So for example, like what's going on in St. Louis right now, where they do those downtown, all that takeover stuff.
Right.
That could turn into a felony very quickly.
It could.
If they're caught 3 weekends in a row, ticketed for the same thing.
Yeah. So yes, and the street takeovers, that's also included in the stunt driving, right? So it's street takeovers, stunt driving, racing, wheelies, riding on the front or rear wheel off the ground for any amount of distance is automatically part of stunt driving. And yeah, the street takeovers, get a bunch of people together, take over a corner, super dangerous, and it's very illegal. So yeah, big one, stunt driving, right? It's illegal, it's dangerous, it kills people, and now law enforcement has additional tools to enforce it, and the punishments are, fitting of the crime.
There's some teeth to it, so if you're constantly getting caught doing it, it's going to turn into a felony.
Exactly.
Pretty quickly.
Yes. A felony with actual prison time.
Okay.
And that's so, don't be stunt driving. If you see it on the Fast and the Furious, do not do it on the street. That's for closed courses with professional drivers. We don't want to be talking on our phones, holding our phones, doing burnouts, doing wheelies, street takeovers. These are all things that are very dangerous, that kill people all the time, and it's against the law. And that's why it is against the law, it's because it is so dangerous.
All right, I appreciate it there.
Of course.
All right, thanks
for having me.
Yep. Dog Patch on Highway 28 is your local gas station for all your small grocery needs. Also, your Hunt's Brothers pizza provider, making it fresh in the store and keeping it warm under the lights for you. Multi flavors to choose from. You get 3 for $30. Also, all your snacks, chips, whatever you need, down to your beverages and down to your sweet snacks. Check out Dog Patch. The Dixon School District has been a sponsor of Allen Hilliard Sports for many years now and continues to provide sponsorship. They have 3 state-of-the-art schools, including a high school, middle school, and an elementary school, all in Dixon, Missouri, serving the Dixon and St. Robert area children. Be sure to check them out at their new admin building on the corner downtown, just off of Main Street, the Dixon School District, Dixon, Missouri. And as we wrap up tonight's show, I want to thank you for joining us, whether you joined us during a broadcast or just listen to the show here. But we're going to take a look at some of the other sports that were not covered during tonight. We'll have some, first of all, we'll go to volleyball. We'll have some live volleyball action next week as the Lady Tigers face Parkview. But before that, Waynesville currently 2-1, defeating Neosho and Sullivan. Had an 0-3 loss to Webb City on the 9th. Looking at the middle school side of volleyball, the Lady Tigers splitting losses 2-0 and 0-2, 7th and 8th grade. So going 1-1 against Pershing Middle School out of Springfield. And then again, coming up for football here, varsity will be at Willard. But football coming off an 0-57 loss this last Saturday at home to Republic. So anyways, I want to appreciate everybody, appreciate Security Bank. Thank you for joining us here. It has been a pleasure. And join me tomorrow night. We'll be live for some middle school football, then varsity football, then WIF football. We'll see you then. Have a good night.
I just wanna stay bad, stay mad. Dip on my shoulder cause they treat me like an outcast. I ain't gonna take that, stay back. I'll be swinging hard till the hits come in all caps. I ain't gonna lay back, pray that someone's gonna help me. Ain't nobody like that. I ain't gonna wait, that's all fact. Give me one shot and I'll never get the throne back. I'm sick of being cautious. I'ma go cause some pain, can't stop this. I'ma steal everybody's lane, call it shoplift. Sick of hearing everyone complain when they thoughtless. Taste the pain, it's like candy canes. It makes me go change into a better frame, into a better name. Society's insane, we all live for fame, yeah. Cash in the bag, stadium packed. Born a rock star and this life gon' live it.